I'm going to compare 3 very popular Segway scooters to each other. Got the Segway Ninebot Max G2, got the Segway Ninebot F3, and got the Segway Ninebot Max G3. I got my tape measure right here. I got a cheat sheet in my pocket for some specs. And most importantly, I will be taking these out for rides, using side-by-side comparisons for hill climbs, accelerations, braking, declines, and pretty much give you guys my opinion at the end which one is worth getting and why. Stick around to the end to find out. A little less than 50 centimeters for the grip tape and about 52 centimeters towards the edge. This one's around 51 centimeters for the grip tape, a little tad bit longer, like 51.5 for the edge. And this one is about 52.5 centimeters for the grip tape and about 54 centimeters towards the edge. So the width of the G2 is around 18 centimeters, a little past the grip tape. And the F3 is also right around 18 centimeters. And the G3 is right around 19 centimeters. Alright guys, this is the fun part. Alright, so ground clearance. We're almost at 11 centimeters for the G2 Max, just shy of 11 centimeters. And just about the same for the F3, just shy of 11 centimeters for ground clearance. We're around 12.5 centimeters for the G3 Max. So visually, the F3 and the G2 Max are right around the same height. I'd say the G2 Max is maybe a tad bit taller, but the G3 Max is definitely taller. It's easily noticeable. On to the jump test. Decently soft. Let's try the F3. Now all 3 of these are full suspension, however only the G3 Max is a full hydraulic suspension, where these 2 are front hydraulic and the back is elastomer, I believe, and the G2 is a double spring suspension in the back. Alright. Okay, this one's also pretty soft. Let's try the Max G3. Alright. All 3 are pretty soft. Now all 3 of these scooters do fold and they are decently portable. So let me lift them and try to get a feel for it. Okay, so this one is on the heavier side. It's still doable, but it's on the heavier side. However, the one thing I don't like about the G2 Max is that when you fold it, the stem kind of goes to the right, where these 2 are centered. So these 2 are easier to carry naturally. Okay, the F3 is definitely lighter compared to the G2. And the G3 is most likely also, yeah. So this one's also heavier as well. But this one is also, it's not as weird when you're carrying it. This one, because the stem is kind of folding to the right, it's a little more, it's almost like the scooter, not almost, the scooter basically tilts, where these 2 are better. So F3 is the most portable of the bunch. Let's take a closer look at all the scooters. If you guys want to know more in detail about a particular one, I have individually reviewed each of these. Links below if you guys are interested. So I'll put the product links below as well. So we'll start off with the Max G2, 1000 watts of peak power, rear wheel drive, dual suspension, and it's more of a basic screen. It's more of the Segway older look. I still think it looks nice, but not as nice as those 2 in my opinion. And we have the signal indicators right here, which is nice. You have the thumb throttle, you have the electronic horn, and you have a drum brake. You do also have 10-inch self-sealing tires, and this is the drum brake right there inside. Then we move on. Oh, I should also mention the cool thing about the G2 and the G3 Max is that you could charge it with just a cable, since it has the AC to DC built in. You can also charge it in the other way as well, but you don't have to carry the power brick if you don't want to, which I really, really like. Alright, so just like the G2 Max, we got 1000 watts of peak power on the F3, 10-inch self-sealing tires, just like the G2 Max. And this one, you do need to carry around the power brick to charge it. It does look a lot nicer. I like this hook. I use this sometimes when I go to the supermarket, get a few things, put the grocery bag around this. It's awesome. But everything else around about the scooter is just nicer. The screen's nicer, just feels more premium, looks more premium. You have the thumb throttle. You can also do it by twist if you want to. You have the signal indicators, and just overall everything's a lot nicer looking. You have the bell, and then you have the disc brake. So it's no longer a drum brake, it is a disc brake right there. And then we move on to the G3 Max, which is now 2,000 watts of peak power, so a lot more power, double the power of the other two. And we have front and rear disc brakes. So overall nicer, and just like the G2, you could charge it with a single cable right there. And you can also charge it the normal way with the AC to DC. And then, yeah, front and rear disc brakes right there. Signal indicator, the screen's much nicer, just like the F3. It's just overall, I like this hook as well. Overall, just a nicer looking scooter. I really like the way these new scooters look. And we have 11-inch self-sealing tires, so bigger tires. The other two are 10-inch self-sealing, this one's 11-inch. So now we get to the testing, and I should mention that I've already tested this with the Max G2 and the Max G3, so I'm reusing those videos. And with the F3, I went and did all the same tests so we could do the side-by-side. Starting with the acceleration test, and yes, the Max G3 is in boost mode because I'm trying to go as fast as I possibly can to the arrow on the ground. So the G3 gets there first, followed by the G2, followed by the F3, which makes sense because the F3 has the slowest top speed of the bunch. Then I did a little bit of off-roading just to get a feel for the scooters, and all three of them are decently smooth, with the G3 being better of the bunch. However, if you want to do anything off-roading related, I highly recommend the ZT3 Pro. It is definitely better than all three of these, no questions asked. Now I did a braking test, and I was trying to go as close to 18 miles an hour as possible, and right when I hit the mailbox, I basically brake as fast as I possibly can. And the G2 did the worst, followed by the F3, and the G3 Max was the best because it has full disc brakes, not full, but dual disc brakes. And yes, all three of them had regen brakes on the standard mode, which is the highest setting. This brake test, I was going as fast as I possibly can with the scooters, and then I applied the brakes, and again, the G2 did the worst because it has the drum brakes, F3 did better, and then the G3 Max did the best. Now, the G3 Max, I was going a lot faster than the other two, so it took a little bit longer to stop, but it was actually doing really well, and a little bit longer, meaning a little bit longer than the F3. Next, I get to the hill climb, and this is really when you could see a difference between the scooters, and this is really when power comes into play because I'm around 200 pounds, which is around 92 kilograms going up this hill, and you could really see a difference between the scooters. Now, I did go start this hill as fast as I possibly can, so the G3 Max does have an advantage because it has a higher top speed, but you could clearly see on the speedometer that the G3 Max is keeping that higher top speed where the other two are dropping. But really, what surprised me the most was that the F3 was actually doing better than the G2. I was expecting the F3 and the G2 Max to get roughly there. In fact, I was kind of thinking the G2 would beat it a little bit because it starts at a higher top speed because it could go a little bit faster. But the F3 is actually winning right now, and while all three of them can get up there, the G3 Max just really went up there fairly easily. I mean, not as easily as a GT2 would get me up there, but still did fairly well. Followed by the F3, and after a few more seconds, I think it was a full 10 seconds it took for the G2 to get there. Yeah, basically almost a full 10 seconds that the G2 followed by the F3. Then next we do a slightly harder hill, and we do it at a standstill. So there is no more of an advantage to the G3 where I'm actually going as fast as I possibly can. So, but nonetheless, the G3 Max does have the most powerful motor, so even in this case, it's still going to win. And as you guys can see, it's actually getting up there pretty easily. Now with the F3, I actually started doing a little bit of zigzagging just to see if I can get up there a little bit sooner. And I wasn't 100% sure if I was going to get up there with the F3, but it was actually taking me up pretty easily. And again, I did do a little bit of zigzagging, but even with the zigzagging, it was actually ahead of the G2, which again surprised me that I'm actually faster than the G2, and the G2 basically has the same peak power. In fact, it even has a higher top speed, but clearly the F3 has a slightly more powerful motor. I mean, the peak power is the same, but it looks like it is a little more powerful on the uphills. And finally, a descent test to see how fast they go. The G2 Max 24-25 miles an hour. The F3 was 22 miles an hour, and the G3 Max was 30 miles an hour. Now, with all that said, which one is worth getting and why? Well, as always, it depends what you're looking for. In my personal opinion, the G3 Max is the best, has the highest top speed, the best acceleration, and the most powerful hill climbs. The F3, though, does give it a run for its money because it's very portable, obviously lightweight, it's a little bit smaller as well compared to the G3 Max. And for the price, you're actually getting quite a bit of features. It looks really nice as well. It has that same new design look as the G3 Max. And the G2 Max, in my personal opinion, even though I really genuinely like the scooter, it's still a fantastic scooter even now. But compared to the other two, I do have to put it in third place, especially because of the F3. It really kind of surprised me on the uphills how it was outperforming the G2 Max. Even though on the flats, the G2 Max does have a higher top speed, it would technically outperform the F3. So with that said, let me know what you guys think in the comment sections below. And as always, smash that subscribe button, hit the like button. I'll catch you guys in the next one.